Hello guys. Today I would like to show you guys how I work with the actions tool and the batch tool. I think I'm gonna have to divide the video into just because of the length of the video is gonna be too big for the blog. So just keep in mind after this video, just continue into the other one. I will be posting a second one uh, showing you guys how to deal with the second part, which is the batch tool. So we're going to work with the actions tool to record the actions that I will do on one picture, which is basically reducing the picture and then creating the watermark, which is something that I've seen you guys have been doing lately. And I know that we have tons and tons of pictures in different folders, and we don't want to do it all over again in every single picture. So the batch tool, what creates is it lets you repeat that action in all the pictures in one single folder. Okay, so let's start. The actions tool, you're gonna see it in the Windows menu, and it's actually open because it's checked, so I have it here. It creates subfolders and folders, so you can save your actions all in different folders. Right now I'm going to open here. It says create new action with that little paper sign. So I'm going to call it watermark, right? And I'm going to put the date. I always like to save it by date. And then this is basically telling you which folder you want it to be in. So I am okay with setting in its set 4, right? It's going to be actually in set 4. And then the function key for the batch purposes, it's not gonna be helpful. But let's say if you want to create follow this action, sorry, in the individual pictures, meaning not the entire folder, and repeat it in the entire folder and not create a batch, then you will be fine, because then you just press F2 and whatever pictures you have opened in your Photoshop screen will have that action. It will repeat that actions how many times you want. Okay, so I'm gonna create, I'm gonna click yellow because I like the yellow color for that one action. So here I'm gonna start recording. It has a little red dot, which means that it's actually recording at the moment. It's gonna record whatever I'm gonna do right now. So I'm gonna open, and I'm gonna open the picture that I want to work with, which is actually this one, right? And I'm gonna remember which folder I have my pictures in. All these pictures right now are the ones that I want to create my reduce the size and create my watermark. If you take a look at it, none of them have watermarks. So I'm gonna open that one, and right now I know for sure that the entire folder has not been reduced to the size that it has to be. Now, just so you guys know, Etsy does resizing, I think, for you automatically, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry. Um, but you at this point, we're gonna do a watermark, and we're gonna work with text, and the text has to be relatedly the same size as as a picture. So I'm gonna reduce it so that we know how big our text is gonna be. So we're gonna do 1,000 pixels, which is what Etsy requires, and then right now I want to start doing my watermark, and click on the text button with all buttons, right? And now we have to have in mind, for instance, my pictures, a lot of them have white backgrounds, and this one has a brown background because it just worked better. It had more contrast. But do have in mind that if you have other colors in your background and you're going to put your text, you don't want your text to disappear in the background, right? So I'm actually going to have it in a gray color instead, just because it works better for me. Um, and also, watermarks most of the time are transparent, or a little bit transparent. So you go into here, the layers window, and play with the transparency, the opacity, I'm sorry. So you go a little bit down, you go a little bit up. I want it like that. Now, position of the watermark. That's really important. You can place your watermark wherever you want. Here, here, wherever you want. Even in the middle, but it's not recommended. But my take on this is that if, let's say, I were to steal someone else's picture, which I don't do, but you have to have in mind that if someone is going to steal your picture, this is, if I place my text here, right, it's going to be really easy for them to fix the picture in Photoshop, probably. I mean, if they were to do it. But most of the times, I do prefer my watermark going a bit over one of the items. Like, for instance, here. See how it's going a little bit over the button? Just so that it makes it a lot harder for the person. I mean, that's my take on it. It's fine if you just want to place it in the corner, and that's fine. But that's my take on it. Since I know Photoshop and I know that it's so easy to, manipulate pictures, and I just want to make it a little bit, harder for the person that's going to want to steal my picture. So, and then the last thing that I want to do is that I'm going to flatten the image, just because it's easier for it to save, and then I'll just save on top of it. At this point, I want to save on top of it. I don't mind having um, just this one picture, and then click OK. So we're done with that, and then we're gonna close the picture. So after that, we just click stop. See how I click stop? That means that it recorded from open to close. It's really important for this to be appeared the open action up to the close action, because the batch will understand that it will continue the action until then. Okay, so now I'm going to go into file, automate batch.